Welcome to yet another episode of Unfiltered Book Talk. Today's episode can be titled as A Navy Officer's Silent Battle Strength Beyond Uniform. Welcome, my name is Sukhpreet Singh Gyani, and you're watching the channel Unfiltered Book Talk. No spoilers, just the core review, the raw, honest truth about books. If it is on my shelf, it's getting a straightforward review. Let's talk about books. Imagine being trained to fight enemies, but one day the enemy is inside your body. No warning, no preparation, and suddenly life becomes a battle you never trained for. This is the story of a Navy officer and the fight that changed him forever. Let me introduce you with the author. This book is written by Commodore Vivek Aggarwal, a retired senior officer in the Indian Navy, a man who lived with discipline, courage, and control. In the Navy, we all know you are trained to stay calm under pressure, to lead, to fight, to survive. But life tested him in a completely different way because this time the battle was not outside, it was within. It started like any small health concern, nothing too serious, at least in the beginning. But when the reports came in, everything changed. You have thyroid cancer. This is what our author was told by the doctors. In that moment, time almost stopped. And it wasn't just his battle anymore. But strangely, even after diagnosis, the uncertainty did not come to an end. Doctors shared what they could, but medicine has its limits. They cannot predict everything, they cannot promise outcomes. His family heard the news and they were shocked, quite naturally. No one was prepared for this, but something powerful happened next. Instead of breaking down, the family came closer. Author's entire family stood by him, strong, calm, and sportive. In moments when the fear could have taken over, his wife became his strength. And then there was his mother. Every day she prayed. The author mentions that his mother chanted the Mahamrityunjay mantra daily, a prayer for healing, protection, and strength. In moments where medicine had limits, love and belief filled the gaps. Because sometimes healing is not just physical, it is emotional, it is spiritual. In a battle where medicine was important, faith became equally powerful. This house was no longer filled with fear, but with hope, prayers, and above all, togetherness. Sometimes the biggest strength doesn't come from within, it comes from the people standing beside you. This is what you come to know as you read this book. The author describes the treatment, the journey of that treatment, and he calls it as a tango, and hence the name of the book. The book calls the treatment journey as a tango, a dance between life and illness, one step forward and one step backward. Treatment began, and long periods of waiting. It involved, as always, hospital visits, tests, procedures. For someone used to taking action, this waiting was the hardest part. Your body feels different. And how it feels different? The author writes in this book. Your routine changes. Mind starts asking questions. But with every step, he kept going, not alone, but with his family besides him. This book also gives us a deep insight into what I can call it as the ability of the mental strength and the inner change. As per the author, this journey was not just physical, it was deeply emotional. There were moments of fear, moments of doubt. One powerful truth that the author shares in this book is healthcare treats the body but often forgets the mind. Doctors focus on reports, scans, and procedures, but the patient is also fighting fear, anxiety, and loneliness. Well, there are so many unanswered questions too, and with very little psychological support. In such moments, patients are left to manage their emotions on their own. And that is where the family becomes everything. They become your support system, your strength, your stability. The author shows us that the strength is not about never feeling weak. It is about continuing even when you do. His training as a Navy officer gave him that discipline. At the same time, his family gave him emotional strength, and his faith gave him peace. Slowly, this battle didn't just challenge him, it changed him. Now, why should you read this book? There are certain very strong messages, I would say teachings from this book. This story teaches us something very simple, yet very powerful. Life can change at any moment. Health should never be taken lightly, and in difficult times, family is your biggest strength. It also reminds us that even in uncertainty, hope can exist and it can let you conquer the enemy within. The book, A Tango with Thyroid Cancer, is not just a story about illness. It's a story about courage, about family, and about faith. Because sometimes life is not about fighting alone, it's about knowing that you are not alone. You will begin to love the author as he, despite hardships, offers his gratitude in a true form to every doctor, nurse, caregiver who stand between fear and hope every single day, and of course, to his family too. If the story touched your heart, I would recommend that you pick up a copy of this book. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe because stories like these deserve to be heard. See you in the next episode of Unfiltered Book Talk. Thanks a ton. Take care. Bye.